Okay, good luck, Reb Tzvi.
Good
Shua
Tvach, good
Tov,
Tvach. How are you?
Boker Tov, Shua Tov, Erev Tov. Baruch Hashem. We are here today. Uh, I just want to let you know that we're no longer in Nitzchei Yisrael. We are under Avas Chesed. We've started. We're in the Hakdama, and
Yeah, the Abbas Chesed is going to bring the Geula.
Mirza Hashem. And I do know that I had the joy of being with my son at his shul and the Rav Rice, spends, he gives during Shalosh Shudas, where I am, and even Shabbos night, where I also attended, uh, he talks about biographies of Gedolim. And I told him, I think you might want to see Shmaryahu's good Gilyonot. So
Let him join the group.
he is. So I sent him a link, and Mirza Hashem, we're going to have a very interesting Rabbi Rice, who fascinating. He does some extensive research, and I will actually publish. He's done like from Rashi the Ramah, from Rashi to the Ramah. He's done about 50 Gedolim in the past 2 years, or something like that. Anyway, but getting back to us, today is Gimel Elul. We're into Elul, and the first night of Slichus. I don't know if you didn't see the Sirton. If you see the video, it was like Mamish Rov Am for the Sfardim starting Slichus at the Koisel. It was wall to wall, as they say, Koisel to
Hey,
Koisel.
well, so well.
Baruch Hashem, Rov Am, Hadras Melech. And we, the Ashkenazim, the Vuzvuzim, we have a few more weeks to catch up to them.
You
Today,
know, you can always litgayer.
oh, listen, did you hear? You're going to hear tomorrow, Husha. You're going to hear that. You're going
I
to.
heard it this morning. What do you mean?
Oh, it's true. It's not last night. You already heard
I
it this morning.
heard
Bli
it this
ayin hara.
morning. Husha,
Husha,
Husha.
Husha. And we know what it is. Of course, I have to look it up. Every year we
Yeah,
look for it.
if you look it up, you can send it to me so I can know what they're saying.
I have no idea. And Husha. Every year we do this. Anyway, today is the yahrzeit of Rav Kook, Avram Yitzchak HaKohen Cook, and that's the Gilyon. But I have added Rav Shraga Feivel Mendelovitz, which was my father's, when he was in Torvadas, before they walked out, he was the Rosh Hashiva of Torvadas. And
There is a. I'm going to twist this for a second. There is a group of Talmidim of Ramosha Shapira that has one of them started a couple of years ago, I think, a WhatsApp group. And the Talmidim, this one says they all want to know like stories and Maislach and this and that. So somebody wrote yesterday, I'm going to read it to you. Somebody wrote today, 3rd of Elul is Rav Kook's yahrzeit. Here's a quick Rav Kook Zatzal Maisa that I heard from Ramosha Shapira when I went to be Menachem Ovel after Rav Moshe himself lost his mother. So he said this. He said, Rav Moshe told me that when Rav Kook was sitting Shiva for his mother, Rav Kook was crying hysterically. One second. He was crying hysterically. Since she was an elderly woman, people didn't understand why Rav Kook was besides himself. So one brave man asked Rav Kook what was behind his deep grief. As soon as I make the turn here, I'm going to stop so I can read this. There. So Rav Kook responded, when Hashem tells us that in the future he will comfort Klal Yisrael, he tells us that he will comfort us as a mother comforts her son. The nechama that will come in the Osi Lavoi, is a nechama that will be like the nechama, the way a mother comforts her son. Here's the Lashon in Yeshayahu. Ki ish asher imoi tenachamenu Ken anochi anachemchem. This is the way a mother is menachem, so I will be menachem you, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Rav Moshe said, why does the pasuk say that Hashem will comfort us like a mother? He says, because nobody in the world feels a child's pain like his mother. And now, I'm sorry, this is Rav Kook. So Kook. And now, continued Rav Kook, there is nobody in the world who truly feels my pain. And he continued to bawl.
Wow, wow. So I don't know if I told you over and over, I've said it more than once, but this is my chiddush. Lahavdil, in other words, comparing to Gedolim, Rav Kook and Rav Moshe Shapiro, Ani HaKatan, I came up with this vort, I think I mentioned it, that why, when we make a Mishaberach, we don't say the father's name for a chola. When we make a Mishaberach for a chola, we say the mother's name. Unlike when
We
you
want
get
to know
told,
we want to know that it's exact.
well, that's perhaps the general
That's the reason.
reason. I've come up with my own. When you make a mishaberach, you're not only making a mishaberach for the chola, but for the mother who had sar, that her son is sick. She needs a mishaberach too. That's my chiddush, and that's
Well,
basically.
that's if the mother's still alive.
Well, it doesn't. Also, the tsar. What do you mean? There's no tsar in Gan Eden when a mother finds out their
No,
son's.
no.
You don't think
That's
so?
above my now you're going, it's above my pay scale.
What you're saying is, I agree with you. We don't want to know now. We'll find out later. Let's find out later, which is very interesting because I did attend a Levaya. I told you I was going to my colleague, and they had a very nice clip. He is one of 7 people who got Legionnaire's disease. He was 70. He was 92 years old. He had all his faculties. He was very vital. A retired judge, Charles Thomas, and they recorded him in the hospital with tubes over his head, and he basically knew he was not going to be around, and he literally, with full intellect, with all his marbles, he came out with different things, and they had a video of what he did, what he said, and it was very, very moving. He knew that
Well,
Nebuch, he knew that. Can you imagine that Legionnaire's disease? I don't know if you know what it is. It goes into air conditioning units. This happens to be in the east side, in very affluent area. What it does, it's like a virus that goes through the air conditioning system, enters
oy
the
vey.
lungs, and is a killer. And unfortunately, he succumbed to it. And but he knew basically when he was
What what starts that infection?
what,
Where does it
what
come from?
Oh, and that's a good question. I assure you, doesn't come. It didn't come from China, but it's if you would look it up, not during this year, but you look up Legionnaire's disease, you'll see the Reb Google will give you everything. But you started this year with Rav Kook, and I'm sure Shmayahu has other very important tales. For example, how at a Knessia Gdola, someone disparaged uh, Rav Kook, and the Chofetz Chaim overheard it, and the Chofetz Chaim left the Knessia. And later on, the people who disparaged Rav Kook came to speak to him, and he refused to speak to them, Chofetz Chaim. And he basically told them, Le'ele shema'orim machlokes neged Rabba shel Yerushalayim, ein anino sein shalom. Man, the Chofetz Chaim said he felt so
Wow,
strongly about
wow,
about Rav Kook, which is
wow.
interesting. Anyway, we also I said it's the yard side of Mendelovitz, who's a very famous name in American Jewry culture, and also Avram Tzvi Hirsch ben Yaakov Eisenstadt. We'll talk about them, but I'm also going to plug the fact that Avas Chesed, we're into it, and we're going to finish today the סיום of the Hakdama. And Mirza Hashem, I'll let everybody know if Reb Rice joins us. I have a feeling that once he gets to, he might be a Shema participant, and we'll have Peugeot and Rabbi Rice. Hopefully, that'll be something nice. Nice to
Okay,
have Rabbi Rice.
Okay, let's do the Tillim because I'm
I know
already
you're
almost
getting there. Here I go. Ann, help me share.
Then click share sound to the right after that.
I hit share. Wait.
Share and then share sound to the right.
Okay, here we go.
Media
Sri, you didn't hear me last time, so I'm going to make sure this time you
Over
hear.
the-
Yeah, I did that.
Then click media player to the left.
I lost three.
I'm right here.
You are there? I
Yeah.
don't see you.
ירושלים ערים סביב לה, ואדוני סביב לעמו, מעתה ועד עולם.
I don't see
כי
you.
לא ינוח שבט הרשע
Yeah.
על גורל הצדיקים, למען לא ישלחו הצדיקים בעוולתה ידיהם. היטיב אדוני לטובים, לישרים בליבותם, והמתים עקלקלותם. יוליכם אדוני את פועלי האבן, שלום על ישראל.
Okay, I think I get it back to you. Okay, we're back. Ahachenu.
Kol Beis Yisrael. Ahachenu.
Kol Beis Yisrael.
Yisrael anesonim batzara. Batzara uvashivya. Ha'imdim bein bayam uvein hayabosha. Hamakayim yirachem aleim. Yotziyim hitzara lerevacha. Umeafel le'oira. Umishipa bagala. Uvenan kavim.
I know you're there, but Yerushalayim, gleich v'di shtut Yerushalayim. The gleich v'di is what? Is just as. Yerushalayim harim savivla was berg zenen arum ir v'Hashem saviv lamo. Azoy is Hashem yisborach arum sein Volk. Wie zij ze hitten. Me'atav yadalam von jetzt bis ewig. That's my Yiddish for today. And Mirza Hashem, you'll winkle us?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened very, very quickly. Friday, I really had a lot of plans, a lot of things I wanted to accomplish. And
you told us.
What did I tell you?
About the roof.
Oh, when did I tell you? I sent you a message?
It's all broadcast. You told us the whole Misa in Friday. You told us how you spent hours.
Who did I tell?
Well, it might have been Thursday. Friday, you told me, well, it's Friday shear. You told me how the crane fell on your car.
Right.
And you
spent hours.
You spent hours with the insurance company. And
right. Well, so when was that? That was Thursday?
It was Friday shear. Friday morning.
So what happened on Thursday?
Right, that was Thursday.
Makes sense. They wouldn't be working Friday afternoon. Right. Okay. Anyway, so
you didn't winkle. You told us you didn't winkle. And Mirza Hashem, Beis Yehuda on Shabbos.
Hashem, I hope to.
Shabbos, did you get
today? Today is the yard site of David Chaim Stern, who was a very, very big tzaddik, a Mekubal, an Ashkenazic Mekubal in Bnei Brak, who passed away 1 year ago.
Isn't that the famous Rav Stern who you told me did Mofsim and that you used to attend? You talked about him when he was sick. We actually when he was sick for a while.
That's right. He was sick for a while, and he passed away a year ago. And he was.
Did anyone do anything today in honor of it? Are you going to?
No, I'm going. That's what I'm saying. We're going after I finish learning about noontime. My wife and I are going to go to Bnei Brak to go to the kever.
Which Beis HaChaim is he buried in Bnei Brak? The Panovich?
I don't know. I think near the Chazon Ish.
If he's in the Chazon Ish, that's my grandfather's kever. So if you are going to Zichron Meir the one next to Panovich, the one to where the Chazon Ish is.
Right.
If you go in, please say hello to my parents, and my grandparents, which you can be able to see. It's very easy. It's to the first right. That's the Derech Kohanim. They have a block of Kohanim, and if you go all the way towards the end, in other words, it's not much. It's a few feet. You'll see 4 Ritholzers, but not spelled.
Okay.
You'll say hello to my, you could put, you're
So,
not a Kohen,
Believe
you're
that,
living. You could put a stone. By the way, do you have any idea the makor, Shmayo, the makor of why we put a stone? I know it's to let everybody know we were there, but why do we put a stone on a kever?
Well, I think it's different minhagim. Some people put grass.
Really? So
you like rip up a little grass and put it on. Some people put a stone. In Eretz Yisrael, it's a little hard to find grass in cemeteries.
Exactly.
In America, there's loads of grass.
Exactly. God,
lawns.
you're absolutely
in Eretz Yisrael, so you find a stone. It's not a problem to find a stone.
I know it's your time, but I think we want to hear, even though we have new listeners, could you tell us a little more? You told us Meiser, Rav Stern. He was a real, I was a gadol in terms of, you told me about, he did tremendous things. Behilim Shane.
Yeah.
He was anonymous, and he did tremendous things.
He wasn't anonymous at all. His house was a open house to one and all. People came to him from all over the place with all their problems, and he would and sit and listen to them. I mean, we went to him for, I don't know, over 20 years since I met him, and we became very, very close to him. And his Rebbetzin Olah Shalom, she was really amazing, because you have to be an amazing woman to be able to be the woman behind
the Machnis Orchim.
Such a tzaddik, that the house is Pasha the Hefker house.
Wow.
And she was not a Hefker lady. She was really
Mesudar.
She was really Mesudar, and it wasn't easy. Wasn't easy.
So
but
you would go to him regularly? You actually partook in his meals sometime? Also, you and a Rebbetzin?
No, I'm taking his meal. We once went for Shabbos. We spent Shabbos with him, and the meal. His wife, they were Hungarian, born Hungarian. So the Rebbetzin was an unbelievable balabosta, and it was a beautiful Shabbos. But he was simply connected. He was really connected, and he was definitely had Ruach HaKodesh, and he was very, very people sought him out, and he's truly very Baal
Did he give brachas or just the Baal Eitzes?
No, he gave brachas, but his brachas. See, Rav Stern, the unique thing about him is when you came to him, you would never know what it is he was going to tell you to do, what he was going to tell you to take upon yourself. You never knew. So if you went to him, you had to be prepared. Otherwise, you don't go. You have to be prepared to do what he's going to tell you to do. And sometimes it was not easy. The thing that he told many, many, many hundreds, if not thousands of people, is he had a shita of learning Mishnayos Baal Peh as a tikkun for many, many things, because it's like just the way mikvah is mitayar the guf. So when it wasn't just learning by heart, it was a shita of learning b'machshava.
Wow.
So when you learn Mishnayos b'machshava, it's like you're being mitaher,
cleansing your mind.
Your mind, the way your water is mitaher your guf.
Wow.
And he himself would dedicate 2 hours a day. He would walk, and he would do 2 hours a day Mishnayos Baal Peh in his mind.
Could I ask you, Rabbi Tzvi, when you go to the kever, are you going to have at least one Mishnah Baal Peh for him?
Yes.
I could tell you, I will tell you a little secret now, that when my son, Baruch Hillel, who now is Baruch Hashem, he's a known person in Givat Zev, when he was 9 years old, for 4 years, I woke him up early in the morning. They called it child abuse. I woke him up early in the morning, and we learned 3 Mishnayos a day for 4 years, 4,192 Mishnayos, Messiah Shas. But at his bar mitzvah, instead of a drasha, he memorized
a סיום.
the סיום. He memorized a Mishnah from each Masechta, and I told him, you're going to say it by heart, Hebrew and English, by heart, and everybody's going to listen to you. What he didn't know is that I handed out the sheet of the Mishnayos, and so everybody followed along. When he said all the Mishnayos of Shas, that was he said, one after the other.
Wow.
He did. And
Wow.
some of them, there were doubles, by the way. It's, there's certain Mishnayos that appear in different Masechtas that I didn't make him,
Wow.
he did. But the idea of having something Baal Peh, you're talking to someone who I could talk to you right now, and in 5 minutes from now, you'll ask me what I said, and that's
Right.
why everything's recorded. I have no clue.
Right.
The memory is gone. But anyway, I want to wish you Yom Tov, Chaim Tovim. Okay, here we are. We're back. I apologize for the, again, technical difficulty. Usually you see Tzvi and me when the Tehillim is being said, and for some reason I hit the wrong button. But we're going to start off with, even though I'm tempted to start off with Shraga Feivel, I'll start off with Shraga Feivel ben Moshe Mendelovitz, who is my father's Rosh Hashiva in Tarvadas. ב-1886, he was born in 1886, ונפטר ב-1948, נולד בווילג, which is in Austro-Hungary, בבן 12, הוא היה בחדר בזלובר, ואחר כך בישיבת מחנה גדולים, סליחה, בישיבת ערוגת הבושם, ובאר שמואל, ואף שמחה, I can't read my handwriting, with Simcha Bunim, okay. I'm sorry. And he learned by the Achakach by Simcha Bunim Sofer, the Shevet Sofer. Ben Shvasrei Nismach Ayadei of the Shevet Sofer, who was I would say, he might be the grandson of the Chsam Sofer, the son of Chsav Sofer, so the Shevet Sofer. He was Nismach Ayado. And when he was 22, Ben Esrim Mishnayim, Hitzchatein, Ben Shivim Esrim V'Sheva Higer to Scranton. Rav Vendelovitz immigrated to Scranton, Pennsylvania, who Hakim Shama Talmud Torah. Achrei Sheva Shanim, Avar LeWilliamsburg, who Haya HaMenahel, Yeshiva Torah V'das. The Elef, if I could read my handwriting, the Elef, Torvadas, the Elef Chamaot Esrim B'Sheish. He was the first one to open up not only Talmud Torah, a Mesivta Torvadas, which is really the high school. Achar Kach, Yeshiva Gdola, Yeshiva Gavoha, Beis Medrash Gavoha, the Muncie. V'hayam echad miyasdei, Beit Medrash Elyon in Muncie, and he's also one of the miyasdim of Beis Yaakov for the yeshiva for girls. And Rav Moshe Feinstein, my Rosh Yeshiva, said about him, Shabila Dav, Lo Hayuklal Limud Torah B'Yireh Shamayim Ba'Amerika. That was a quote of Rav Moshe Feinstein. Cool. Let's go to Rav Kook. Rav Avraham Yitzchak ben Rav Shlomo Zalman HaKohen Kook HaRe'iyah Reish Aleph Yud Hey Nolad Begriba, which is in Latvia, and Elef Shmona Shishim V'Chamesh, V'Niftar B'Yerushalayim B'Gimel Elul B'Elef Shalmot Shloshim V'Chamesh. Rav Kook Hitchanech B'Cheder V'Etzel Aviv Ima Perel Zlota Hayta Bat Shel Rafal Mechasidav Harishonim Shel Hatzemach Tzedek Melabavich. B'Gil 13 Yatzal Lilmod Be'ir Luchin Hasmucha V'Nimna Im Talmidav Shel Rabbi Elazar Don Yichya Rabbi Yaakov Rabinovitz Beno Shel Mordechai Gimpel Lapa. B'Shnat 1081 Chazar LeBeit Horav V'Achrei Shnatayim Avar LeSmargon Hasmucha LeVilna V'Nechshav LeIlui Migaroba. B'Sof Shnanav ב-1884 התארס, סליחה, בסוף שנת, not שנת, at the end of the year of 1884, התארס, got engaged in בת שבע אלתא, ביתו של רב אליהו דוד רבינוביץ' התאומים, האדרת, רבא של פונוביץ'. בעצת חותנו עבר עד החתונה בשנת שנה וחצי, from after his engagement for a year and a half, limud b'yeshivas Volozhin. Gam sham hitparsem ke'ilui. Rosh Yeshiva Netziv herichul kolcha shepam amar kedai ha'isa shetivazed yeshivat Volozhin kedai legadel bachur kazeh. B'shnat 1888, kibel et atzmo b'hashpa'at ha'chovetz chaim l'chahen b'rabbanut b'iriyat Zimo שבליטה. ב-1895 נבחר לרבה של קהילת בויסק, או בביסק. באותו זמן חיבר את הספר חבש פאר ומאמרים בהלכה ובהשקפה על בעיות הדור. בשנת 1901 פרסם מאמר על תעודת ישראל ולעומתיו אחרי שאשתו בת האדרת נפטרה, שידך לו חותנו את רזה רבקה בת אחיו התאום, רב צבי יהודה. בנם רב צבי יהודה קרוי על שמו. בשנת 1902 נפטר רבא של יפו, הגאון מקובל רב טלי הרץ לוי, הרב קוק הוזמן לשמש במקומו. הרב קוק שמח, כי תמיד רצה לעלות לארץ ישראל ולהשתתף בתחיית ההתיישבות. הוא הגיע ליפו בכ"ח אייר 1904, ואת נאומו הפומבי הראשון נשא בעברית. הוא יצר קשר בין היישוב הישן לחדש, והתחיל לקרב ביניהם. ביקר לעיתים במושבות, שם עמד על בעיות הרוחניות והחבריתות, ופרסם מאמרים על השקפת היהדות כדי להתמודד עם הרוח המודרנית, שהייתה באותו שנים אצל הצעירים. We need him today, that's for sure. בשנת 1910, לפני שנת השמיטה, חשש שאם ישמעו את שנת השמיטה, היישוב ייהרס. לכן החליט בהוראת שעה. No, this was a הוראת שעה, it was an emergency measure. רק לעושו שמיטה. יחד עם רבנים נוספים למכור את קרקעות והנטיות לאנשים לא יהודים, כדי שלא יצטרכו לקיים דיני שביעיס. ההחלטה גרמה להתנגדות אצל חלק מרבני ארץ ישראל, לכן כתב הרב קוק את הספר שבס האורץ, שהסביר שיטתו בהלכה ותפיסתו לגבי מצוות שמיטה בקיומו בדורו. למרות הוויכוח בין הרב קוק לרבני היישוב הישן בגלל שנת השמיטה, ארגן הרב את מסע המושבות ליישובים חדשים בשומרון ובגליל בחורף 1914, אליו הצטרפו חלק מרבני היישוב הישן. רב קוק שלח את רב חרל"פ לשכנע גם את רב יוסף חיים סולף וחסנפלד, רבא של העד החרש בירושלים, הצטרף למסע, ואכן הסכים. בקיץ 1914 יצא רב קוק לאירופה, להשתתף בכנסייה הגדולה של אגודת ישראל, and of course I told you the Maisa of the Chofetz Chaim who felt Sha'achak Chiblo at Shem Merkaz Arav Orega. The Elul, Elef Chamot Shasrei, Chazal Eretz Yisrael, Hitmanal Rav Rashi Yerushalayim. After he went to the Knessia Gdola. And the Adar Elef Chamot Esrim Echad Yazam et Harabuna Rashit Eretz Yisrael, v'nivchar Rav Rashi mitam Ashkenazim. Oto shana Harav gam hekim et הישיבה המרכזית שאחר כך קיבלה את השם מרכז הרב. בשנת 1923 התקיים בכניסה גדולה ראשונה בווינה, בעת הפתיחה שמה... Okay, so that's the mice over there. בשנת 1924 יצא לארצות הברית לאסוף כסף עבור מוסדות תורה בישראל בגולה. בתחילת שנות ה-20, כשנודע בארץ על מצב הקשה של יהודי Russia, we got our warning. We got a warning over here. So the time is running out. Okay, so I'm going to say he was Mechaber, the Orot, the Adar Hayakar, Rosh Milin, Agrot, Ayin Aleph Yud Hey, Olat Re'iyah, Mishpat Kohen, and Ora Mishpat. Today's the Yortzeit of Avram Tzvi, Hirsch ben Yaakov Eisenstadt, שנולד ב-1813 ונפטר ב-1868, נולד בביליסק ברוסיה, התחתן בגיל 15, היה דיין, 1839, דיבר טוב, בגרודנה, אחר כך היה רב באותיין, הוא היה מחיבר את פסחי תשובה בנחלת צבי. אוקיי, עד כאן היורצייטים של היום. אמרתי שאנחנו מסיימים את ההקדמה. ומצווה זו, this mitzvah of Avas Chesed, of doing גמיל חסדים, עושה שלום גדול בינינו לבין אבינו שבשמיים, כמו שאמרו חז"ל, בבא בסרה, דף י' עמוד א', אמר רבי אלעזר ברבי יוסף, כל צדקה וחסד שישראל עושים בעולם הזה, שלום גדול לפרקים גדולים בין ישראל לווים שבשמיים, שנאמר, המידה הזאת היא עומדת ברומו של עולם ממש, ומתבונן בתורת גודל ענייניו, זה לשון המדרש, רוס, פרשס ה' וד', בואו וראה, כוחן של בעלי צדקה וגומלי חסד, שאין חוסים, they don't shelter, לא בצל שחר, לא בצל כנפי אורס, לא בצל כנפי שמן, לא בצל כנפי חיות, לא בצל כנפי כרופים, לא בצל כנפי סורים, אלא בצל מי שאמר, where's the protection of הקדוש ברוך הוא כביכול בעצמו, והיה בעולם, שנאמר, as it says in Tehillim, למד ו' חס, מה יוקר חס לך אלוקים בני אדם בצל, כנפיך יחסיון. להפך, כמה גרוע אדם שאין בו מידת החסד ורחמים, שהוא מרחיק עצמו הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא מקור הרחמים וחנינה, compassion and grace. והכוסף קורא בלי העל, עבור זה ראה מה שאמרו חז"ל, בילקוט ראה. על הפוסק דברים, תסבוב, תס, פן יהיה דובר עם לבך בלי העל, לאמור, קרבה שנת השבע, when it comes to Shemitah, they don't want to lend money. They are belial. Havizor shalotim narachamim. Shekol amanei arachamim mekish lauf dekalolim. Person who refrains from doing rachamim, compassion, is someone who is idol worship. Perek malchut shemayim yolav. Shenemar beliol. V'aposek hazeh shehisham alecha inakoi almaniyat tzedakah lechud ki'im almaniyat halvah. Not only not giving tzedakah, but not even giving a loan. Gam ken mashmiya begitten lama v'gemora and shemachin kosa b'sefer Shari Tshuva Lagabi, it's the Beli Ol. I think someplace it says that. Beli Ol. I'm surprised. I most probably skipped it. Shalotim and Rachmim, Shekol Manea, Shanemar, Beli Ol. Okay. But when I say in a Rabbin, Kama, Vakama, Anashim, She'inyan, Zer, Rofui, Biodam. There's one of the Das, Sibas, Adora. The reason that people neglect Milach Chasodim Achas, one reason, Mitzad Miyot, Hayidia, Be'etzam, and they don't know how important it is. Shem yodim protein yonim. They don't know how to do al munach shemida bezu ki beemet milach chesed kolelos besocha kama sugim. There are different types of of chesed, la'asiyos, la'aniyim, l'chaim, l'mesim, to do it for rich, la'ashirim, la'aniyim, for rich and poor, for living and the dead, chesed she'osa begufo, what chesed that you do with your body, v'chesed she'osa b'mamono, you do with your money, kamo she'amru chazal, b'chol, as it says in Sukkah, daf mem tes amud beis, b'chol sug yesh ba, kama inyanim b'chol inyam v'inyan yesh ba, kama pratim, kamo she'isbar, mir Hashem v'prokim, there are many different details. Shane is the second major reason. Besides, enim yodim et godam huta, they don't know how important it is. Kama hipo elet, b'tas mekuso adam, oches bo, machzikol hetiv bo, b'chol inyanov, how mighty in the power it exerts on the poor person. Bein b'mei chayav, bein b'lazeh, bein b'alba, bein b'natza al yadam b'yom hadin agadol, from this world and the next world, ken kamti. Therefore, the Chafetz Chaim says, therefore, nisarati b'chesed Hashem yisbarach achonei mischased. He said that's why he wrote in Bruav Laharich Lifnei Akol et Miras Chesed B'Chol Inyan B'Fi Mashe Siga Yadai Be'ezras Hashem Yisbarach. That's why he wrote this book, Sefer. Lachalek a Sefer Zel L'Shloch HaKolim. He says the Sefer is divided into three parts, just like all. Halek Achad Yivora Ikora B'Inyan Dinei Gemilas Chasarid Shalvos Momen La'Shirim La'aniyim B'Chol Protem. He gives you the different halachas involving rich and poor. Gamavora B'Al Dinei Shalvos Avot. Also the restoration of a pledge article, Dime Tashlumi Schar Bizmana, how to pay your workers in a time, V'od Kama Halachas Nogos Lamasa. Chelik Bey is the second Chelik Yivor Godol Schar Machzikim B'midas HaSefer Zed, the reward, Lehefa Godol, and the punishment for those who don't do a Marpim B'dayim B'midas of Niskabetz Zed, Mishas B'pli, he gets his sources from Bavli Yerushalmi, Midrash Chazal, Medabri Yizad Gam Yivor, Bo Kama Esus Hakbulas, Ech Lasig Midas Zil Hasir, Call me Froim Menik Bo Yivor Kama Inyane Snagos B'midat Staka, Inyane Masher V'chomesh, V'od Kama Inyane Mitzrachim Leita B'inyan Staka. Also, laws about charity. Chelik Gimel, third Chelik Yivor Kol, Inyanim Nechlalim B'midas HaChesed, or everything that's involved with Chesed, V'achmasas Orachim, B'chor Kolim, Yosef B'zeh. V'krasi Shem Achibur Zeh, Avas Chesed, Al Shem HaKosav, Higid Lecha, and this is Micha, Perik Vav, Pasuk Ches, Hidcha Adam, Matov Ma Hashem Dorish Mimcha, Kiyam Asod Mishma Avas Chesed. V'gam Hitzakti B'Beur Saviv Lo Krasi B'Shem Nesiv Chesed, Shmo Kenhu, Ki Hu Mor Derech V'Nesiv Leida Mekor L'Sa'om in Gemara V'Haposkim. And I'm sorry I had a rush because I'm running out of time. I wish everyone Chayiv Tovim, Shavua Tov.